So today I'd like to get you guys to know these two boys. This is Tyler Long, 17 years old, and he was bullied to death. He was bullied and then he could go home and killed himself by hanging. And then this Jeremy Rothmeyer, who is 14 years old, he claimed that he was bisexual and he was bullied, and also he killed himself at home in his own closet by hanging himself. So because my presentation will refer to them a lot, I'd like to introduce a little bit about them. Because there's a study that I found in the USA Live headlines that say that 50% of the high school students admit to violence in their high school years. So I can make a good guess that about 50% of you guys in here have involved in violence act in high school. Or either if you don't involve in the violence act yourself, you were being affected by it, you were the victims. So this topic is very familiar to most of you, if not all of you here. And what is my credibility? Well, in high school, I was also a victim. I was being called names. I was like really faggot and stuff, and it's just hard for me. Sometimes just go to the hall or get to class, and sometimes I just want to ditch that class because that particular guys always pick on me. So it's hard for me. And so when it comes to this topic, bullying, I think I know it best. And today I would like for you to know about the definition of bullying, the type of bullying that usually you guys will see, and the impact of bullying on people, and to see the solution that I have to offer. First of all, I would, according to Dr. Olias, bullying has three components, and I would like to break it down for you guys. First, there must be a negative behavior or act involved in this relationship. So, for instance, in the case of this 14-year-old boy, Jeremy Rothmeyer, he was called faggot, gay, queer in his school. So that derogatory speech or comments for him is the violent act, which fits in the first component of the definition of bullying. And the second component is repeated over time. So during his high school time, he was being called this and that, and queer and faggot over a long period of time. So he fits in the second components as well. And the third component is there's an imbalance of power. So as you see, he claimed himself as bisexual, and the other boys claim themselves as straight. So they kind of see themselves as more than this boy. So there's this imbalance of power in here. So he fits in the third component as well. So he is being considered, fits in the three categories. He's being considered being bullied by the other person. So now, as you have known the definition of bullying, I would like for you guys to know about the types of bullying. There are three types of bullying. There are about 9 types of bullying according to my research. According to Dr. Olias, which is a director and also the founder of the Olias program, which is the foremost bullying prevention program in the United States. The three components is, that three types of bullying is verbally, socially isolated, and physically. I'll go into details each one of the types of bullying. Verbally is anything that has to do with derogatory comments or names, bad names, such as in the case of Jimmy that I talked earlier, in my case too. Or even socially isolated is the second type of bullying, such as Tyler Long, which is the boy that I showed, the first boy, 17 years old, that I talked about. He was, according to his mother, he has this kind of autism that makes him very rule-oriented. So he was Anytime in class there's a student talking during a lecture, he would stand up and say, "Hey, that's not the rule." So he's being isolated from all of his classmates for having this kind of sickness. So that is the second type of bullying. The third type of bullying is physically bullying. Or in my case, I remember when in high school I was accused of stealing this girl from this guy, and I was called out to the backyard of the school, and I found myself, hit, elbow, punch in the face, and all kind of kneeings, just, continuously. And luckily for me, there was, someone walked by and so they left, and I had to do all kind of reports and stuff. So it was hard for me at that time. So, but basically, those are the three types of bullying: physically, verbally, and socially isolated. And I would like for you guys now to go on to the impact of bullying on people. Usually, you see bullies. Usually, you see the bullied, or like me, as being the has more negative impact. But actually, studies shows that the bullies themselves has more negative impacts, such as they have shown to have more low grades. They are more likely to involve into violent crimes, usually found carry weapons, and for some, after they grow up and they get mature, they suffer from youth. And since now all of you guys have a pretty well perspective about what bullying is, I would like to for you guys to look into a solution that I have to suggest. Gold, which is the king of the dance industry, and he has given many speeches to inform parents and children that boy dancers are usual. Because he's a boy dancer, he has become so successful, and now he tells his story. In high school, and this is what he has to say, and he offers a solution. I believe it's the adults in the kid's life who influence this kind of behavior or thinking. They are the ones I went to school with, and they still think that dancing is sissy things for guys to do. So they pass their prejudices on their children, creating an entirely new generation of kids who make fun of boys who dance. So he identified the problem, and he offered a solution, which I believe is also the ultimate solution, which I agree with. Dancers and teachers should realize that the male dancers, what the male dancers may be suffering through, so they should be educated of that. And they need to, and the children themselves need to be educated of how to show nice manners, how to be a good person. And the third one is that, and the third one is counseling. Right now there's a lot less counseling for people like the LGBT community or the minorities, but he thinks that if he go around spreading words like this, and this will help. So that's what I basically agree on. And I will leave you guys with this short clip to think about the consequence of bullying, and it's about Tyler Long, which I talked about earlier.
This weekend will mark 1 year since Tyler Long took his own life. His family hopes sharing his story and their pain will make a difference.
I feel power every day. There's not a day that comes where I don't. It hurts. But until something is done, I'm quite sure other parents will go through the same thing. It needs.
So that's it. That's the grieving of the parents that goes to tell you. And thank you.
So Tina, what did you think?